Welcome to today's tutorial. Today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to do sections. So first of all, once you've opened your CAD file up, if you click on the proposed floor plan, and then we can zoom in, we can see we've got elevation markers there currently. But on this particular plan, during the development application, we don't need the sections, but during the building approval plans, which is what this one will be, we will need the sections. So first of all, if you press Control L, and then in this section, if you press M for marker, I've got marker section set up in my template. If you click the I to show it in ArchiCAD 21, press update. Okay. Now you can zoom in and see that there's section markers showing up here. And what you can do is actually Control D once you've highlighted it, drag it over so that this black dot in the middle here is lined up with the elevation. And on this side, you can adjust it as well. Click this option, zoom in, click in the middle of the elevation to make it line up. And you can you click on the pink and you can move it over to there. And we can just move the marker just over this side a little way away from the elevation marker. And that'll be where the section cuts through the house. And as you can see here, the dotted line doesn't go over the top of the bench. So if you click on that and right click, display order, bring to front. I like to show that over everything else. And same with this one, right click, display order, bring to front. And Control D, hold shift, click there. And we can just bring it down a bit, click there, bring that up behind. Maybe we'll put the Y marker on that side. So we can cut through the laundry bathroom through the living room. Click here, click that option to extend it. Zoom in and click in the middle of the elevation. Now that's your two markers set up for the sections. And if you scroll down here, I've got sections already set up. And this is X and this is Y. And if you just double click on X, that'll show you the cut through. So from here, because this house is suspended on a floor frame, it's going to sit up off the ground. If you right click and press view settings, press escape, right click section settings, sorry. And if you click on general, you can see that it's only showing 300 mil lower than the floor level. So we can make this minus, you could say 2 meters. That'll show the columns underneath the house. And we can do the same thing for Y section settings, minus 2000. Okay, from here, a couple things to change. If you click on the floors here, it's showing up as a concrete fill. And if you go up to this structure here, if you click on that and just choose any of these, actually we'll make it a timber one. So if you go and find, say, roof timber, click on that one. That'll show that as timber subfloor, timber floor frame. And for the bench here, change that to cavity. Okay, from here, you can click on the dimension. Click up here to change the layer, put it on dim section, short for dimension, the section. And we'll check the settings first. We can change it to 1.8 and change it to black. And it's on Arial Narrow. If you click on this line, both those lines, and I normally drag the dimension over to the wall, and then I press Control D and press R, and I bring it 1 meter off. Control Shift D, R 800 to bring another one off. Then I'll click on this and hold the control button, and I'll click the top of the doors, and then I hold the control button and then I click the top to cut that away. Then I click on the 2100, right click, go to the settings, press enter, and you can type in window doors, window/doors, press OK. Click on that, Control T or right click, enter, type in ceiling, OK. And for this particular one, I might drag them both another 500 mil. Press R 500 off the house. It just looks a bit better. And then you can go and do the same thing on section Y. So on this particular one, I'll just make it 1 meter off the downpipe for the first dimension string, and then 800 for the second dimension string. Highlight the dimension. Sometimes the top of this dimension might, if you don't have a window to click on, it might not give you the exact 2100. And I just note them as 2100. So sometimes the top of the window could be 2070 or something else, but I just noted at 2100 as a standard. You can see there's a top of window there. So if I click and highlight that and press Control and then click on the top of that window, the top of it's actually up here where the tick is. So if you hold the Control button down and hover around the wall there until you see the tick, click, zoom in, click on that. Then that's 2100. So I've finally got the 2100. I'm going to bring it back over to this one and move it 800 off. Control T. Window doors. Control T. Ceiling. So that's the dimensions done there as well. You can see there's a few more things that need to be changed. If you press suspend groups and just go to the island bench and change that to cavity. And these slabs were previously there, they can actually be deleted. They're not relevant. You can see that that needs to be changed to the timber, and same here. Go roof timber. And now we'll go back to section X again. At this point, we'll show the roof space as a flat ceiling. So if you click on the fill and click up here and change it to foreground, and then change this to light gray. Change the layer to S. If you type in SE, you'll find section. Click on it, click, click, drag it up 90, enter, enter, press escape. It's currently showing an area. I don't need that. So if I click there and then go to the settings, untick it. If I click that, it'll bring it back to the edge. If I click there and click on that option, I can put a dot there. Click that node, click that option, move the node there. And then I can click the arrow note, make sure it's set up with Arial Narrow 1.8, SE for the layout sections, and then click and press escape. Click on the arrow, press Control D, drag it down, click here to straighten it up. All caps, trusses to manufacturer's spec. Control M to mirror it. I think it looks better how it was, so I'll press Control Z to go back. Zoom in on the gutter. That needs to go to cavity, just so we don't see concrete showing up there when it's only a gutter. Then we can put some room names in. So if you go to text, change the settings, 2.5 in size, SE for section, bold, Arial narrow, and all caps type living. And now if I just want to check where the cut through specifically goes, if I press FN and then F2, it'll go back to the floor plan. Otherwise, another option is to go up here. There's quick options up here if you click on the floor plan. And this is actually cutting through here looking this way. It's cutting through the island bench. It's unnecessary to see that. So I'll just bring it forward to there. It's still not overlapping the elevation marker, which is good. Maybe I'll slightly off from the stairs a bit more to make it more noticeable. So that's cutting through, say, the dining area. So if I go back to X, I can call this dining as opposed to calling it living. Actually, I'll call it living just because you can see the living room. So for this particular one, I'll just call it the living on this section. Okay, I'll put some more notes there now. I'm just going to move that over to here so I've got more space for another note up here. So I'll drag a copy and then I'll just name that Collarbon roof sheeting at 7-degree pitch. I'm not sure on that pitch yet. I'll correct that in a second. I want to check. That is a 9-degree pitch. So double click 9. If I highlight that, I can press this option to make it smaller for the degrees, give a degree symbol, and then I'll just separate those notes slightly. And then Control Shift D once I highlight that note, put the note there, drag it down. Gutter and fascia. And then Control Shift D, drag that node over, and then you can just double click it and press deck, type in deck, put that black node dot in the center of the door. So Control Shift D, drag this node over to here, and we'll put an arrow note for the other roof pitch, which is 14 degrees. Double click, 14. And we can put a clip lock cladding note here. Click that option, make it at a right angle. Clip, lock, cladding. Control Shift M to mirror and Control D to take it over there. We'll put a clip lock cladding note there as well. And we can see that there's a downpipe here. So what we can do is click on this note, press Control Shift D, double click and press DP for downpipe, and then unbold it, make it 1.8, drag it down, and that stands for downpipe. And we can press Control Shift D and Control M to mirror, Control D to drag it in, double click, timber / wire balustrade, and press escape. And then we can do the same thing over here on the other section. What you can do is you can use the marquee, highlight everything, and you just want to grab the text and press Control A, and then click on the arrow notes, press Control A again. Once you highlight it, press Control C, and then go into Y section, press Control V, and then this, you can try pretty much just any of these options is okay for this particular one because it's not going to be right anyway. And then you can grab it all and bring it over while it's still on the marquee tool, and then click outside of it, and then you can quickly grab these notes and press Control D and bring them down. Zoom in and then type in the relevant name. So for this one, it'll be kitchen /dining. And Control-Shift-D, you can type in living, put it in the center of the window. Control-Shift-D, click on there, bath/L dot laundry. So you just want to make laundry short, a short version of laundry, because you won't fit it all in there. It'll look too cluttered as well. And then you can drag a copy over here and you can just get rid of the laundry and just keep it as bath. Now you can see this is a bit odd here, how this is working out. So if you click that pink option and bring it to line up with the tap, same here. I'm not sure if the client actually wants to go wall hung or a full vanity, so I'll just keep it like that for now. Also, there's no mirror showing. There's no mirror showing on the vanity, and they should be. So if you go back to floor plan, and you can see all the walls are in black. That's because if you go over here into the view map and right click, view settings, and we'll change this from simplified to no overrides. So now we can zoom in and there's a little bit more detail now. So once I'm back in there, I'm going to zoom out and go over to my objects that I've got pre-set up. And I'll find a mirror. So there's a mirror here. If I click there and it's on suspended groups, if it's not on suspended groups and you click the mirror, everything's going to be highlighted. You don't want that. So press escape, press suspend groups, click the mirror, press Control-Shift-D to drag it. And I'm going to put a mirror down here, click, and then press Control-M to mirror. Hold Shift to get a straight line, Control-D, and make sure it's right on that wall. Normally to get it right on the wall, you'll see there'll be like some type of symbol that says that you're lined up. You don't just want to like go so there's a gap and stuff. You want to make it actually sit on the wall. And then you can just, for this particular one, we'll make the mirror the same width as the vanity. And I'll change the layer to F for fixture and then go down to fixture. And now if I go back to section Y, the mirror's there, that just looks a bit more neat and tidy now. And then I'll put the name for bathroom in the middle of the two vanities, and I'll just bring that name up a bit just so it looks a bit better. And then if I click on all of these names and hold Shift, they're all in line. I can click the bottom of the note and make it line up with the bottom of that note so everything's in line. Now we can add in the downpipe note, click on DP and just bring it over here for now. Press Control-Shift-D and then place another one there. Okay, we can get rid of those ones. Put the clip lock cladding note can come over here. Colorbond, gutter and fascia can go here. Just click on that. We can see that needs to be on cavity because there's a little dot there. That's why I knew that. We don't need a second node for that. If we click on this 14-degree node, that'll go here. I press Control-M and then bring it about halfway down. This looks a bit neater. And press Control-D, bring that one down. That's 9 degrees, yep. And I'll place it about there. And this node I'll place down here and I'll make sure this is exactly lined up with that one. So I'll hold the Shift key and then I can go over and click, see where the black pen goes. That means it's lined up. If I click the fill now and it's on gray at 7 on section, I can zoom in. This is the ceiling line. Click and then type in 90 and press enter. Again, it's bringing up the area. Press escape, click on it, Control-T, untick. I don't need that. For future, if you click on the fill, go to settings, untick that, then next time it won't do it for us. Press escape and I just bring that node over a little bit more just so it looks a bit better. and I'll click on that, click this extend option, and I'm going to bring that over to here. Click that and drag it back to there. I can drag another 2 notes over to here for trusses to manufacturer's specification. Now there's some outlines showing here which need to be removed. So if you click on demo floor plan, you can see that there was a demo floor plan set up originally. And the clients later decide that they're going to do a completely new build altogether, so there won't be any need for a demo plan anymore. And if I click onto that wall, I can see that it's showing up as an existing wall. Now, if I click on propose and go in and click, I can confirm this is existing wall. So if we go back to demo floor plan, basically, if you hold shift in, you click on all of these walls, they all actually need to be on proposed. And if you click the marquee, you can highlight everything in there and press Control A and press delete. Press escape, click on that door, press delete. And this floor frame, make it proposed. And those down pipes, you can make them proposed. Then you can just delete the rest. Delete. We don't even need that demo plan. Delete. Proposed now. So these old windows are there showing up for some reason. So if you go into the 3D, you can see where things have doubled up. So if you click on these, hold shift in and click on those, they actually need to be just deleted. And if you go to the other side, click that door and these 2 windows and delete. Also delete that window. So yeah, the clients changed their mind about that. There was originally an existing dwelling to be renovated, but now it's just going to be a completely new portion of the build. Hence now I've had to just delete those during the building approval stage. So now if you go back to X section, go to Y section, you don't see that extra line work there now, which is good. And I'm just wondering what's going on here. So what I can do is actually go to overhead and I can actually zoom around and I can see that I've placed a window there. So this bench here, I can see that's, I'll go back to floor plan. I do have a window there and I just want to confirm I do have that window there. On the DA floor plan, I didn't actually have a window showing there. So that's actually another window that needs to be removed. Delete. Now if I go back to section Y, there's not that awkward window, half a window showing now, because I have a cupboard here going all the way up to the roof. So this is the fridge space. So now what I do here is I press Alt and click on this fill. I can make it white. And if I click here, I can draw a straight line and bring it down to the joinery there. And then if I make it come down about 250 and then press Control, bring it to the bottom of the floor and then bring it back up 1800 and we'll add another 100 to it. Actually, we'll make it 1850. So if you press M from there to there to the floor is 1850. And if you click that option, I'm just having to think about this as we draw it. So there'll probably be a 300mm bulkhead over the top, and then the rest of it will be joinery. So if I press Alt on that fill, and we can see that there's 2184 there. If you bring your calculator up, press escape, 2184. We divide that by approximately 5 doors, about 436. 436.8. And if I press Alt and click on that, I'm going to draw another fill across here. Actually, what I might do is just get the line tool, make that on the light gray, and make that on a section. Click, click. 450. Sorry, it was 436.8. 436.8. And then press U to drag a copy, increment and spread. Press OK. 436.8, and then hold shift and keep moving your mouse to the right, and that'll draw some additional lines equally spaced. Then press Control, and we want to get rid, press escape. We want to cut these lines off here because that cupboard's behind this bench, so it's going to show behind. If I press Alt and click on that line tool again, I can change this to a dotted line. And what I can do, actually press undo, Control Z, click it 3 times, grab this dotted line, draw across like that, and then press Control Shift D once they're both highlighted and drag it over. And then you can drag one more over, zoom in, and anything outside of that cupboard there, just press Control and cut it off, and then highlight the leftover and delete it. Then you can hold Shift and you can just go through and highlight them all. Press Control G, so now they're all one object. If you want to move things quickly all together at once, you can. Now zoom in and press Suspend Groups and click Control and click on all the lines that go over the island bench. Because, as I said before, that cupboard is sitting behind that bench, so you're not going to see the lines coming over the bench. So really in the section stage, we do use a bit of fill work and just try to make it look accurate, but also look presentable at the same time. So that's the kitchen detail there. I just put a little bit of detail in there just to make it look more presentable. The clients may choose to actually construct it differently once they speak with a cabinet maker. And I'm also going to put a line here halfway, which is 400. Press Alt on that dotted line, go corner to corner, press Escape, hold Shift and highlight, and press Control G to group them all together. That's an overhead cupboard, and this will be a bulkhead over the top. I'm not even going to name it as a bulkhead and put an arrow note there because, as I was saying, the clients may do something different there, and I don't want the builder to quote them for something that they're not really going to have. But if the clients ever have any changes or the builders need something updated, they can always come back to me and I can update something if it's important. Now in the bathroom, that mirror has disappeared. So if I go to overhead, hold Shift and rotate around, I can see it's missing there. If I press Control L, select all, press the eye on, click on the roof, right click, layers, hide layer. That mirror is not showing up, so I don't know where it's disappeared to. So we may have to place that in again. If I go back to sections, I'm going to give it one more try. I'm going to press Control L, select all, press the I and press OK. And that mirror is still not showing up. So press FN, F2 to go back to the floor plan. Go back over and grab a mirror. Press suspend groups, grab a mirror, Control D. Control M, Control D, click, extend it, put that on fixture. And if we go to overhead, that should be showing now. Yep, it's showing there now. And I'm just going to click on it and just make sure it's all correct. Now I'll go back to Y section and that's showing now. Now, to put in some extra detail with the tiles in the bathroom, just to make it look a bit more presentable, I need to have a look at how I've actually drawn that bathroom. And I can see that I've got a 900 by 900 shower here. So I can at least draw 900 by 900 tiles at 2 meters high in that portion. So if I go to Y section, I can click this fill tool and I can go down to tiles and I will choose, we can just choose a 200 by 200 grid tile. So we'll just make this easier. Actually, I'm just going to grab a foreground, a white fill. If I click there and hold shift and go up here and draw and type in 2 meters and then bring it 20 mil off, press escape, Control D, locate that 900 off. So that denotes the shower screen. And we'll draw tiles now. If you press Control Shift D, you can actually drag that out. This is going to represent the tiles. If you click that option, you can actually extend that all the way to the wall. So what we'll do is we'll change this to 200 by 200 tiles. We'll make this gray and we can actually extend that all the way down. If we make this at 0 on this option, it'll be see-through, meaning you can see that. If you click on that and make that white, you won't see anything behind it. So what I might actually do is just click the polyline, change it to black. It's on section. Click that option and click. I just need that bottom of that line to show up. And we can see that this fill is going over the top of the shower, which doesn't look the best, but it does take a bit of time actually detailing that and getting it to work around that shower because we're just using a fill. It's just a 2D object. So for this one, just leave it like that. The clients will get the idea. That's basically tiled and that's a niche in the bathroom. And what we can do to make it look a bit more realistic is we can press Alt and we can draw some tiles in. Bring it up to the bottom of the mirror. And drag that over to the wall. And we can show all of that as tiled. Just like that. And if you press Alt, you can move over and do the same between top of the bottom bench and the overhead cupboards. We've got the wash machine and dryer showing there. And if I click on that and change this to a foreground fill, make it white, I can draw a line over, click, and then draw it to the top of the wash machine, which is 20 mil. That's going to represent your bench top. And then draw another fill, 150 high, make it go down to there. Same here, 150 to there. That's going to be your toe kick of your cupboard. And what I'll do now is actually look at the floor plan. If I go back to the floor plan, we can see I've got a sink there and a sink there. So this will be 2 cupboards and this will be a single cupboard. So now I can go back to back into the laundry and I'll grab the polyline tool, grab the geometric one, draw a straight line, double click, press escape, click on that line, and we're going to situate that halfway at 450 mil. Press Alt, click, draw it from corner to corner. Press escape, highlight both, make it dotted, make it grey, make it a smaller line. Actually, it can stay like that. This one can be light grey as well, and then highlight them all. Press Ctrl G. Okay, now click on, you can basically grab those, click on the middle point, and click so it goes to there. Then press Ctrl and trim off those edges. And just click and bring that to the corner. That just shows that this is a cupboard that opens that side. And I'm not sure, there's actually going to be a mirror going above here. So what we'll do for now is drag that tiles back to there. And I actually need to put a mirror in here as well. So if I go back to the floor plan, Control Shift D, drag a copy over. And I'll have a mirror there for that portion. If I go back to section Y, that mirror is showing now. And that's the reason we didn't have an overhead cupboard above. You press M, you can actually measure 1730. That's how long that cupboard is. And I want to figure out how I'm going to show this as 3 or 4 doors. And I try to make each door around 400 to 450, 500-ish. So what I would do is press M and actually get the length 1730. And I just want to figure out what size I'm going to make these. So I'll probably split it into 4, which is 432.50. Now, if you press Alt on that line, 432.50 from memory. 432.5, and then press Control U, press OK. 432.5. Then I can drag it across. They're all equally distributed now. If I click on that dotted line, click on that, press Control M to mirror, Control D up, and then I can highlight them all, and I can press Control G. So now that's the overhead cupboards done in the bathroom. That's looking realistic. What we'll do is click on that tiles, bring another node there, extend it down there. So that'll be tiles underneath the mirror as well. Maybe I'll bring it to the top of that overhead, and I'll actually make it taller just for the image. We'll make that 1100 just for the section, sorry. And then I can extend tiles back down. We'll just show it like that, just looks a bit more minimalistic. And I notice there is no vanity showing here. So what you can actually do is just get a fill tool. Actually, what I might do is go to the floor plan. Go to objects and type in tap.